So, I've lived in a lot of countries and I've worked in a lot of countries. And there's one thing that you need to really understand. Your English is as good as your speaking. What do I mean by that? If you are someone who knows how to do tests and they're able to understand 1,000 vocabularies, but then when it comes to your speaking, you're only using 200 of them, then I'm sorry, you only know 200 vocabularies. Or let's say you know how to answer questions related to grammar. You memorize all the rules, but when it comes to speaking, you're still making very basic mistakes. Then I'm sorry, that's your grammar. Your vocab is as good as your speaking. In the real world, people judge you on your speaking, whether it's your grammar or vocabulary. Say you're applying for a job. In a job interview, no one is going to ask you what is present continuous tense or explain me this word. What they really do is they ask you questions, and based on your speaking, they judge how good you're speaking and how good you are and capable you are. The same when you're applying to university. In university, outside of writing essays, you have the interview stage. And that's where they find out whether you are someone fit for that university. So really, my advice to all my students is you need your language to be practical. You don't want it to only be on papers. Yes, answering on papers and getting a high score gives you that dopamine. You feel good about yourself. But in real world, when you're speaking, this is where it all matters. This is where it all comes down to. Therefore, you need to listen to a lot of English content so that those grammar, those vocabularies become part of your speech. You need to speak and practice a lot and to improve each time. Next time you're learning a grammar rule, there's no need to memorize the name of the rules and should I use have, should I use verb 3, verb 2. You don't need all of that. Just learn how to use them in speech, because as you're speaking, you're not gonna remember all the rules. You're speaking on the spot. And the way you speak on the spot is when you listen to a lot of content and those phrases become part of your speech. So you're no longer thinking, should I use verb 3 or verb 2 or verb 1? Should I use past tense, past simple? You don't need to know all that. The same with vocabularies. When you're speaking, you're not gonna start remembering the vocabularies that you memorize. You don't have time to think when you're speaking. Therefore, if you memorize a vocabulary, make it part of your speaking. Use it to the point where it becomes part of your vocabulary speech, the speech vocabulary. You don't want it to be a vocabulary of your brain. You don't want the grammars to be in the brain. You want it to be on your tongue. Thank you.